understanding of what Laurentian is, what the value proposition is of the university, and why you should select students that come to Laurentian. So for those of you who don't know Laurentian, it's a university located in Northern Ontario. It's 4 hours north of Toronto. It's the only university in Canada that's bilingual and tricultural, meaning that we have an emphasis on French studies in Canada, offering a certificate in bilingualism to students who pursue their studies in a bilingual fashion. We also offer Indigenous learnings as a tip-off to what's going on in Canada in terms of our First Nation cultures. We're located in the city of Greater Sudbury. The city of Greater Sudbury is a mid-sized city in Canada. Our population is about 160,000 people. It's the largest city in Northern Ontario. It's the gateway to the north. It's got long roots in mining and environmental. So the city is actually founded on the rail bed across Canada. And when the founders came into Sudbury, they noticed that there was ore deposits there. So Sudbury is home to the largest nickel deposit in North America. The city of Sudbury has generated more nickel and more revenues from mining than any other city in North America. It's also voted as the happiest city in Canada. That was in 2016. So the happiness quotient for Sudbury was the highest in the whole country. The reason why people are so happy in Sudbury is because the cost of living is very low. So you can find affordable accommodations. You can find affordable ways to get around town. My daily commute, and I kid you not, my daily commute from my office to my house is 5 minutes. When there's traffic more than 7 minutes, I start panicking. So picture me in Delhi. My hands start sweating, I get really panicked. So Sudbury, very relaxed. We also have tons of lakes. It's the city that has the most lakes per square kilometer in the world. Within city limits, we have 333 lakes. These are freshwater lakes that you can actually go and take a sip of water from. You can go swimming in them. You can go fishing in them. In the winter, you can go skating on them. So it's a city that offers rural amenities and urban feel. So because we're the gateway to the north, we do have theaters, we do have plays, we do have culture and vibe in the city. But we also have that rural feel. So if you travel just outside the city, there's quite a few parks, provincial parks, there's camping, there's trail systems, boating systems, all kinds of things for you to explore when you visit our city. Now the value proposition of Laurentian. So these are the most important points, and this is why I want to put this at the front of the presentation. Our student to professor ratio is 18:1. What does that mean? It means you actually build a relationship with your faculty members. I'm not only the director of student recruitment at Laurentian, I'm also a graduate. So I graduated from Laurentian in 2006 from the program of economics, and I'm actually a current student, so I'm finishing up my MBA at Laurentian. The reason the ratio is important is because in my undergraduate studies, I was able to meet my faculty members. They would know me by first name. I could ask them for letters of references if I ever wanted to apply to graduate studies. I could ask them for references if I was applying for jobs. And that's an important factor, especially once you're an international student, you're coming to Canada and you're looking for that leg up in the job market. You can get those references from the faculty member if you're a good student and you work hard. Our average class size is 24 students. So picture a class with 24 students. That's the amount of one-on-one attention that we give our students. Our graduate employment rate is 92%. This was #1 in the province of Ontario for the last 7 years. So 92% of our students obtain meaningful work in their field of study after graduation. So we not only take students in, we train them, we give them the best education possible, and then they get jobs. But they get high-paying jobs. So at Laurentian, the students end up having the second highest earnings after graduation in the province of Ontario. Some of the students that graduate from engineering programs start their first job at $60,000 per year. So $400,000 Canadian dollars for zero experience, coming right out of a bachelor's degree and into the job market. And of course, I talked about the certificate of bilingualism. So what does that mean? It's just another marketable asset that you have when they're going into the job force. So the campus itself has just gone through a huge renovation. So we just spent over $200 million on upgrading our facilities, our lab spaces, our student spaces, our residences. The university was created in 1960, but the founding partner of Laurentian, which is Université de Sudbury, a French university in Sudbury, Ontario, was founded in 1916. Meaning the roots of academia for Laurentian go very deep. It's a long-standing history with tons of excellence. It's the largest campus in Canada. So we have 765 acres of land. We have 5 lakes bordering our campus. We're the only campus in Ontario that has its own private beach, albeit the beach is frozen for half the year, but we still have a beach. We also have a brand new School of Architecture. It's the first School of Architecture to open in Canada in 30 years, and that campus is located downtown Sudbury, and that's a 10-minute commute from the main campus on the Sudbury Transit system. We have 14 research centers. In our research centers, we have accolades such as a Nobel Peace Prize. We have won the Lunabotics competition from NASA. We have great research happening in terms of health and safety, workplace safety, and vibrations under mining. We have approximately 9,000 students, and of the 9,000 students, 600 of them are international. What does that mean? It means we still have room to grow. So we have tons of space for international students at the undergraduate, and of course in some of our master's programs as well. We currently have about 60 Indian students at Laurentian. So it's a small population, but we can grow that population with your help. On campus, we have accommodations. We house over 1,600 students on our campus. We have 8 different residences that are available to students. 2 different styles, an apartment style and a dormitory style. It depends on what the students want. They can apply for either or. They're guaranteed a spot in their first year if they apply within the timelines. So within the deadlines of application, they're guaranteed a spot in their first year of university. We also have other amenities on campus, so for students that are looking for the health and safety piece, or just safety altogether. Sudbury is a very safe city. The campus itself is an enclosed campus, meaning that we're not part of a downtown core. So whoever's on our campus is either a professor, a staff member, or a student. And it's really a great place and a great environment to be studying in. It's like a little town, it's a little village. Everybody's extremely friendly. We have amenities such as games rooms. We also have an Olympic-sized swimming pool, an indoor track, and of course, we have some varsity sports. In addition to the varsity sports that we also have club sports. We have over 40 different club sports on our campus. So if a student is interested in playing pickleball, they have a league for that. If they're interested in playing water polo, there's a league for that as well. So there's all kinds of activities on campus for students to enjoy. Other on-campus activities and services that we offer, of course, the meal plans. So we have a variety of food on campus that students can avail themselves from. Of course, Starbucks, Tim Hortons, all those wonderful Canadian features. The great thing about that is that students can actually buy a meal plan, so they don't have to stress about preparing their meals or finding money to pay for their meals. Everything can be done ahead of time. We also have the gyms, the walking trails on campus. There's all kinds of amenities, and of course, we offer a free bus pass to all students. So once you're on campus, you can get around town on the transit system, and it's included in the price of tuition. All right, on-campus supports include things like the student career planning. This is an important piece that I've realized that international students don't really have the know-how on how to write up a CV for Canadian markets. So how do we support those students is we have workshops that explain to them, here's how you set up your CV for the job market in Canada. We also have career coaches that help students build those CVs, but also fine-tune their interview skills. And these are things that are crucial when students are looking for employment part-time, either on campus or within the city. We have job boards, so we make sure the students know that there's jobs opportunities at the university or within the community. And of course, the academic supports are the important piece. So we have a Center of Academic Excellence that supports students in writing, in reading, in setting up presentations. They do workshops throughout the year. So if a student is struggling with a dissertation or a thesis or whatever paper they're writing, they can actually come and sit down with a writing advisor. So they get teaching fellows, or their faculty members that sit in an office and they're there to support students, to help them build the best paper that they can to achieve the best grades possible and learn as much as possible. So the list of programs that we have, it's almost impossible for me to go through 175 programs with you today, unless Mehdi gives me another 3 hours of presentation time. We're good? Okay. So we're gonna keep it to the 30-40 minutes. What I'll do is I'll walk you through the 6 faculties that we do have. So we have 175 programs taught in English or French at the undergraduate, master's, and PhD level. So at the undergraduate level, we have these 6 faculties. So the Faculty of Arts, Faculty of Education, Health, Management, the Faculty of Science, Engineering, and Architecture, and finally, the Faculty of Medicine. So we do have a full medical school on our campus. It's extremely competitive. I would suggest if you're looking to apply or have students apply to this, that they start doing an undergraduate in Canada first, look at getting their PR, and then applying for medical school. The other programs, the other faculties, in the Faculty of Arts, that's where we have criminology, sociology, history, geography, all your basic type of programs in the arts. Some of the niche programs that we have at Laurentian, of course, is the Business Administration program or Sports Administration. It's a unique program in Canada. It's the only Bachelor of Commerce that offers a specialization in sports management. So graduates from this program end up working in places like the NBA or the NFL. We have grads that work for the Olympic Committee. We have grads that work for the Canadian Olympic Association. We have grads that work for finance companies. Some bridged out and became agents, sport agents. So this program is a highly competitive program. We take in 75 students per year. However, if a student is not admitted to this program, we do give alternate offers to other programs. In this case, we give an alternate offer to the Business Administration program. Education, so we have 2 education programs. We have a French education program, or bac en éducation, and then we have a concurrent education program. It's the only program in Ontario that certifies teachers within 5 years. So our program is condensed in 5 years. Any other university in Ontario for the Ontario certification will be over 6 years. So this is a fast-track program for teaching accreditation. Engineering. This is really our flagship program. So we have 3 engineering types. We have mechanical, chemical, and mining. Our mining program, so mining engineering was just ranked in the top 50 in the world for mining engineering by Shanghai Ranking. I talked quickly about the roots of Sudbury in terms of the mining history that we have. So within the Sudbury district, we actually have 6 mines that are fully operational, and students get to see firsthand what mining is like today. And mining is not what we used to think in terms of going down in the coal mine with a pick hammer. Mining these days is done from surface work. So the students going into this program are really learning mechatronics, they're learning mechanical engineering, they're learning chemical engineering, and they're really redefining how we make revenues out of the mining system. Because we're so entrenched in mining and environment, we've developed some pretty significant environmental studies programs. If you're really excited about Laurentian and Sudbury, I suggest that you go and Google the Sudbury Protocol. So Sudbury Protocol is actually the largest re-greening program that's ever happened on the face of this planet, and it happened in Sudbury. So in 1950, when they first started mining or started really developing the land, Sudbury looked like the face of the moon. It looked like a moonscape. And because of that, we attracted the best researchers in environmental studies from around the globe to set up the largest re-greening process. So we took the lakes, we made them drinkable again. There's fish now in our lakes that you can eat, and the city's covered in beautiful trees. And this happened within 1 generation. So the expertise that came out of Laurentian helped re-green a devastated area in terms of environmental climate. Earth science, we're right in the middle of a large geographic anomaly, so a crater that happened millions of years ago. So the geology program is one of the best exploration programs for geology in the world. Biomedical Biology, because of our ties to the School of Medicine, as well as the ties to the local hospitals, the students that work out of this program get to do first-hand experiences or co-op programs with those institutions. The health programs such as kinesiology, psychology, nursing are all housed within one unit, and it's at the far end of campus in terms of where the phys ed building is. And this is a unique program, top-notch research coming out of there, and students that are in their undergraduate programs can actually work on that research. And of course, the last one is forensic science. So forensic science is a niche program for Laurentian. It's the only program in Canada that's certified by the RCMP, so the National Police, as well as the Ontario Police for certifications around forensic sciences. Now, what's unique about Laurentian is that we can combine degrees. So if a student was looking, for example, to go into pharmaceutical sales, what they could do is take a major in business and a minor in pharmaceuticals to become well-rounded and more marketable in the job market. So the sky's the limit here in terms of how you can combine a degree at Laurentian. It's really based on what the student is looking for in terms of building their career, but also in terms of their passions. So if a student wants to go in theater, but we all know theater's a tough sell for parents, and theater's a really tough sell in terms of the market for industry, for jobs. But they could pair that with another program that could yield a better outcome for their career. So this information is all located on the website. You can find some permutations of degrees that exist, so majors, minors, specialization certificates, all on the website. Overall admissions to the undergraduate program, we require a high school diploma. A 70% average is the minimum requirement to apply. Some programs that are limited enrollment will require a bit more on the high side, so up to 80-85%, depending on what programs they're going into. In terms of language, we do require a 6.5 IELTS and no band less than 6. We do offer conditional admissions based on our language program, and I'll just walk you through the language program right now. So our language program is in-house at the university. It's our English academic preparation program. So we hire full-time staff, so TESOL certified teachers to support students in building their language capacity. So if the student doesn't have that 6.5, but they have, let's say, a 6.0 overall, they could test out. So they come to Laurentian, we do an on-site test, and then they might be able to test out and go direct stream into their program. If not, then we supply some help to get the student ready for university education in Canada. The intakes, of course, for the EAP program are flexible, so they're every term we take in students. And it's really about ensuring the success of the students as they move through the university studies. Tuition and fees. So most programs at Laurentian are about $24,000. That's for a full year. Some programs such as engineering or architecture are a bit higher due to some of the material costs or the labs in the program. So these are pretty high fees. If you're looking at sending students to college, it's quite a bit less than this, and we understand that. So one of the things that we did is we created one of the most generous scholarship programs in Canada for undergraduate programs. So students that have a GPA of 80 plus will receive automatically up to $60,000 for their 4 years of study if they maintain their GPA. So that looks at bringing really the cost of a university degree down to half. So Canadian education at the undergraduate level can cost half if you find the right students that are admissible through the scholarship. This is a great program. Our goal is really to find the best and brightest students, bring them to Laurentian, train them, put them out in the job market, and see them be successful. Program intakes vary, so some programs only take in a fall entry, but most programs have entry points at different times of the year. So we have 3 main intakes, so your fall intake in September, winter intake in January, and of course the summer intake in May. The deadlines are posted there as well, so you can see the deadlines to apply. However, some of the open enrollment programs, if you talk to the folks at ApplyBoard, they can help you guys navigate when students can still apply to an open enrollment program. The application goes through the Ontario University Application Centre. It's $129 for the 3 choices, or 2 choices directly through Laurentian. So you can choose to apply directly through Laurentian if you're only sending a student to us, or if you're applying through OUAC, you can send them to multiple institutions. Graduate programs. So we are looking for our students in the graduate programs. Most of our graduate programs are thesis streams. So this is the list of programs that we do have. I'll just note 3 programs. So administration, which is course-based. So they can fast-track this program. If students actually have a business background, they can get this program done in about 3 terms, so 3 semesters. We have a fast-track engineering program, so students can get a master's in engineering, so a master's of science in engineering, fast-track as well, and that's also done in 3 terms. It's the same course as our 2-year master's program, it's just they do an overload and get it done quicker. And then the last one that we want to highlight is Computational Sciences, which is computer science. Once again, this is a course-based program that has a thesis stream as well. So students can look at this program, decide if they want to do a thesis stream, if they want to move on to a PhD eventually, so they can use that as a springboard to a PhD. Graduate admissions overall, what we're looking for is a 4-year equivalent of bachelor's of 70% overall. So we're looking for students that can maintain their status as they move into a graduate program. The language score is the same thing as the undergrad. We're looking at a 6.5, no less than 6 on the IELTS. We do offer conditional acceptances through our EAP program for master's programs as well. Some programs do require a supervisor. So when you're going through the application process with a student, or if you're looking at the website, just note that there's a whole section dedicated to graduate studies with tons of information on deadlines, tons of information on what admission criteria we're looking for. And of course, we do require WES for graduate applications. So a WES evaluation is required for us to even look at the application before moving it through to the departments. The application process for graduate is very similar to the undergraduate process. It's through the OUAC, so the Ontario University Application Centre. This site is actually housed directly on the Laurentian website. They just go in, follow the steps, submit the documents, and that's about it. The fees for graduate programs range. So for example, most programs are around $23,000 for a year. However, the fast track programs are about $27,000 for the full program. So if you're thinking about sending a student to a graduate program, think about the return on investment there. If they spend $27,000, go into a master's program, finish with an MEng or an MSc within a year and a half, that's a pretty good value proposition. They can build their thesis stream as well. Graduate deadlines, we're looking at different intakes, so the winter intake, spring intake, and fall. Some programs have different intakes. Everything is listed on the website. I don't want to go into too much detail here because it's really complicated and it changes quite a bit. If you have any questions about this specifically, or if you have a student that's interested, you're not sure, I suggest bring them through ApplyBoard. ApplyBoard can help set them up and get them through the process. Because pictures are worth 1,000 words. I think that's the best way to end the presentation. So that just give you a quick glimpse of what the students are actually doing in the programs. They're actually living the experience. It's a Canadian experience. It's a Northern experience. It's a typically Canadian experience. And I think that's the important thing. So when you're looking at students that are choosing their institution, it's a very specific type of student that's coming to Laurentian. And I'll give you a bit of my background. So I'm from Northern Ontario. I studied in high school in a small town. And then when I applied to universities, I applied to quite a few. I got into quite a few, and I actually attended a large university that wasn't Laurentian. So I showed up to my first week of class, walked into the first set of the auditoriums. The prof came down, introduced himself, hit play, walked out. I didn't see that prof for the rest of the semester, so I spoke to TAs only. So after my first semester at this university, it really didn't work out for me. I really wanted that one-on-one contact with faculty members, so I changed. I went to Laurentian. I did great, so I finished my bachelor's degree there. I had good opportunities while working, while studying. I worked at the university as well, so I took care of onboarding students, supporting students throughout, building mentorship programs, and that was part of my education. I was also able to be published as an undergraduate student in the Journal of Economics. And that's really uncommon. You don't see that often, especially in Canadian institutions where an undergraduate student will be published. But because I had a class in my 4th year, we were 3 students. It was a sports economics class. And our class, we just sat down together. We discussed different topics with our faculty member. And as a group, we wrote a journal. We did research, we published it. And this is a great experience for an undergraduate who's looking to get into a post-secondary degree. So the opportunities of coming to a small institution are huge. It gives you the chance to get to know your professors, to embrace the Canadian culture, build your contacts and your networks, and really progress in your academics. So I really want to leave you with that today. Thank you for your time, and I guess I'll open the floor for questions.
Thank you so much, Justin.